Hello, everyone. It is great to be with you. We got a lot of chaos going. We got like construction worker going on outside, and then I'm me and Marcia and Toby. We're just still trying not to laugh because we've had a little bit of a time here at the house, and you can just feel sorry for JT what he has to put up with some of our girl times, girl interesting times, and basically there was a thing going down and then another thing kind of went down and then blah. And but what we do know is what happens in the house stays in the house, and so we are getting over it all and working together, and we feel so privileged. And I have to tell you what a team has been brought together, and I just love these girls. Marcia and Toby are such an addition to this team, and JT is so grateful because a lot of stress has been lifted off of his life because of adding some much needed help. And so I appreciate you guys so much. All right, and once in a while it's so funny we can barely even take it. So we're gonna get started. Do you love my cute? I got this as a gift when we were in Atlanta. It says she is strong, faith makes all things possible. Be still and know that I am God. Awesome lady just gave that to me. Isn't it beautiful? I love my wonderful friends, and thank you to our special friends. He sends us Matthew King sends us hats for angel hats. So nice. Thank you. Psalms 133 in my dad's Bible. He has underlined this. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments. We want to have that kind of unity. And sometimes on this show, it's not always about just having unity. It's about having a little bit of discord because we're fighting the predators and we're fighting hard. And we make no apologies for it. We do not believe that sexual deviants or any kind of pedophiles or people that are using the gospel for gain should be in the pulpit. So I've been a little bit happy lately because there's been a diversion, and the diversion came about. Do you have William's stuff there, JT? Just put him on the side because I have this most incredible update for you today. And so William, my friend, died. And William and I were friends for, I don't know, how many years? 20, 25 years. And he went to be with Jesus a couple months ago. And Marcia and Toby, you are like Martha in a way, but Marcia, yeah, you're Mary. Oh, no, I don't know. You're always hands-on. I think you're hands-on. And so Marcia and Toby were with me to go through this, and William was an incredible person. But when he passed, it really left his son an orphan. And so we were very saddened by that. And I realized that the person with the most pain in the room at his funeral was his son. And his mom had died in addiction, his dad now, and his brother had been murdered in a gang, actually by his own gang members. There was a gang fight within the gang, and William Jr. lost his life. And so it broke my heart. And so we did a lot of things. So here we are. If you go to my share here, JT, William had a lot of life in him, and he was so much fun. But I have a quick update. I showed. Do you have my share there? Yeah. Quick update on William's Son project, and I just put this up this morning. We moved furniture in last night. More pictures coming. Tonight we will stack the cupboards with food and toiletries and love. So that's what I'm doing when I'm done the show today. I'm heading off, whoever's coming with me from the house, and we're going to go get food and put lots of stuff in so that this precious young man has some good food. So let me just show you. We'll go through some pictures here. This is getting towards, the final, getting that tile in to the room. And we had a wonderful Tyler, did a great job, put all that stuff down first. This is getting back to what we had to clean up before we had something that we could work with. Proud to say I painted a little. I had fun doing that, but this is maybe more sort of where it all began. I'll see if I can get in here, but this room was uninhabitable, no bed, no place for this young man who gets, a place to stay from the government, but yet, because he's alone, because skills are gone, and because there's been nobody there, he hasn't been living the best. So I want to show you something else. It begins to get better here. If you can see the floor is done, you see some pictures. I think that's Marsha's shoulder there. And there we are. So we took in some of these pictures and a gift even for the thing. But okay, so let me now show you. I think this is the one. I will trade JT to this. Is everybody ready? Okay, let me make it bigger. Here we go. What do you think? I know, right? Oh, you moved the heart. Yeah. What do you think, Marsha? So these people, clothes. So we've got clothes, and these people, they actually ended up donating that cupboard there. Look, is that precious? So this is Janina. Janina's gone in there and added final touches. And this is this young man's room. Yeah, she put birds on that wall. Is that not incredible? And look at this, for I know the plans I have for you. So I just won't speak. I'll just, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Can we play that again? So I'll just let it run in the side here. Yeah, I'm pretty excited that God does really great things and he shows up for people. And it was interesting because JT and I this morning, let me see if I can get this again and make it really big. And we'll just let it play here. There we go. There we go. All right. So from that yucky room that you saw, this is something different. And a lot of love and your finances and funds went into this. So many of you donated and made this possible for this young kid. And I just want to thank you. So we actually have found someone else that we're going to help. And he's an older gentleman, and he is drug-free. 77 soon, and he has been working a very, very long time and has not really a hope of much else in his life. And so that's our next project, and we're going to change his life. So thank you very much. And to any of you who will become a part of what we're doing, for $50 a month or more, I finally have a necklace to show you. So this is a sterling silver necklace, and it has a little beautiful gleaming little gem right in here. And this is the finest silver that you can get made into jewelry. This is sterling, and the chain is absolutely gorgeous. You can make it a little shorter if you'd like it shorter, or so it's 18 inches. Let's see how that. So it'll, fit on your neck about right here. Isn't that pretty? So some of you are already getting these because the shipment just came in, and we're going to be sending it out to a bunch of you. Oh, forgive me. I'm sorry. This is one of the most precious things that has happened in my whole life. And, it's not because I'm a great person or like care so much about others that I just had to do it. It was because I was the only one that could do this and the only one that knew this precious young man because he stayed in our home. I was the only one, and if I didn't do it, nobody would. And he would be lost, a statistic, and never seen again. So, out of sheer absolute necessity, realizing that my friend William is gone, and William and I would talk about his son, and I am grieved in my spirit about one thing, is that I didn't do it sooner and didn't do it with William. But I just didn't know that he was going to leave us, and I didn't want to overstep my boundaries with William and his son, and he was concerned about him, but William didn't have the means either, to make things happen. So I had to. That's why we're here. And now that we're here, and now that this has been such a change, now I feel compelled. And because so many of you have been so kind, you've sent funds. And I really appreciate, some of you have written the nicest things underneath, about God's love. And so because you've done that, we are going to do more. And we're going to help other people. So I'll just try to get myself together. And the thing is, it feels so good to help, doesn't it? I mean, in our world that's broken, and in all of this that we know, we have to expose the church. We have to expose those that are doing wrong things in the church. The church is a beautiful thing. I pray for it to be cleaned up and it to be accountable and for beautiful things to happen. And I firmly believe if churches actually paid attention, they could take charge and reno one room in every room that's available downtown and help to get every single person's room done. It's not a huge amount of money. It is costly. You got to get crews. It was so nice. The moving men that moved all that furniture in, we should have got pictures of them. We were so busy moving, oh, move it here, fit everything in. We were so busy that I didn't get pictures of them. They are awesome guys. They've helped me move before. And if you need movers, I mean, they are like $100 with 1.5 hours minimum, but $100, 2 guys and a truck. And they'll move anything from anywhere in the Vancouver area. Okay. So if you're in California, it's maybe not helpful right now, but if you're in this area, they will move your stuff. Beautiful guys. And you know what? They said, just take $50 off they gave us for sure already a good deal. And then they said, take $50 off. We want to donate that to what you're doing for this young man. So, oh my gosh, it was just beautiful. Now, another interesting thing happening. Have you guys all seen this? Let me show you. So U.S. commentator Glenn Beck offers to pay for surgery to save a Canadian approved for MAID. So this woman, her condition is treatable, but Saskatchewan doesn't have a surgeon who can complete the surgery. She has waited years to see a specialist. So she has resigned herself to letting everything run out, and she's going to die. Glenn Beck is now coming forward. Wow. So let me just look at this here. Let me see if I can see this. Pull this up as wide as I can get this. All right. So Ryan Williams, Bay of Quint, he writes, should MAID really be considered healthcare? So the government's like, if we can't get you your operation, did you want to die? Can we help you? We've got some meds. Simple, easy, short, done in an afternoon on your timetable. Have a great meal before, and you're gone. Is that healthcare? Really? I mean, come on. So a Saskatchewan woman was approved for MAID, not because her condition was untreatable, but because she couldn't access a surgeon. Her illness is fixable. Her province simply didn't have the specialist. She waited years. A U.S. commentator stepped in and offered to pay for her surgery just so she could live. Thank you, Glenn Beck. That's where Canada is today. Last year, 16,499 Canadians died through MAID. That's 5.1% of all deaths. About 1 in every 20 deaths in the country. Now compare that to California, a state with nearly the same population, 853 MAID deaths. What? So we're just killing people here in Canada. You know, I'm American and I'm Canadian. And so I appreciate that crossover that we have. But so California, 853 people have taken their lives. That's about 0.27% of all deaths, where in Canada, our MAID, I'm sorry, could somebody send this to the Prime Minister? Like, are we just randomly, this is better, let's help you die? I know they offer it in hospitals quite regularly. If you want to take your life, you can take your life. Why the difference? Because in California, assisted death is a true last resort, terminal illness only. Strict safeguards, no approvals because you can't access treatment or support. In Canada, MAID has quietly become the most available part of the healthcare system. Faster than surgery, faster than mental health care, faster than pain specialists. So here's the real question. If a country can approve your death faster than it can offer you care, is that health care or a system giving up? It's death care. We can do better than this. Canadians deserve a system that helps people save their lives, not one that makes dying the easiest option. Wow. I'm grateful. Glenn Beck. Wow. I love Glenn Beck. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. I hope that it works, and I hope we hear more good stories on it. I want to show you another one. So JT was watching this last night, and I think, he thought it was really touching. And I said, let's just show this. Remember Jelly Roll? So he's a singer, right, JT? Yeah. I remember, I think when we were young, right? No? When we were old? No? Oh, but this happened recently, but Jelly Roll's from way back. 80s? No? No? Okay, I got that all wrong. In any case, Jelly Roll. Yeah, I should show up at the meetings, he says. Okay, that's what Marcia says too. Where are you when we're having the meetings, Laura-Lynn? Okay, so watch this video, and Joe Rogan kind of tells this story. It's really amazing. Take a look.
So you remember that Craig Morgan moment where you talked about it when you were on stage at the Opry?
Oh, yeah, Almost Home.
Yeah.
It's one of the coolest nights ever.
Let's play that. I want to play that because we're going to show you something. I'm going to show you something. That was a really powerful moment because you were talking about how you would listen to that song in prison, and how you went to the Opry and you sat there. I think you were in the 7th row.
Seventh row?
Yeah.
Exactly where I was, 6th or 7th. I was right back there, stage left.
And you talked about it when you were on stage, the first time you were ever on stage at the Opry. I want to play that first, and we're going to play something else.
While incarcerated, I had a little girl. She's in the crowd tonight. She's now 13 years old. I remember sitting in my jail bunk when I knew she was born and thinking I had to do something to change my life. I came home and I pursued the dream of music by selling mixtapes and t-shirts out of the trunk of my car. Right here in Nashville, Tennessee. I married my best friend. We have full custody of that 13-year-old now. And in that jail cell, I found strength in country music. I used to listen to Craig Morgan sing Almost Home in my jail cell and think, I'm going to change my life when I get home. I came home and Googled Craig Morgan live performance, and he was right here at the Grand Ole Opry. I sat right there with that man with the ball cap, and the 7th row back on this row is sitting. No lie, and I watched Craig Morgan and cried. For those of y'all that don't know, I make music for the broken. I make music for the have-nots and the lost causes in life, the ones that have been through something and overcame it.
What is it like seeing yourself?
Dude.
What is it like seeing yourself that big and seeing yourself in that
Well,
Huge moment.
one, I love you, man. You tricked me again. I thought we were getting off the pod, so I was like, oh, I just want to shout
I
my
love
wife's
you
book
too.
out right quick. And then you were showing me video.
I'm going to show you something else, too.
I didn't think I'd make it, Joe.
I'm going to show you this.
My buddy.
Give me some volume, Jay.
To say congratulations on all the great things happening in your career, and to thank you for the positive difference you're making in the lives of so many people who need the help. You're doing great work, buddy, and I'll never forget meeting you on the Grand Ole Opry and how much it meant to me to hear you say my music helped you get through some really tough times. That's one thing country music does really well. And who would have ever dreamed back then that I'd be back at the Opry House today to say, Jelly Roll, you're officially invited to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry. It's an honor to say welcome to the family, brother.
He wanted to play that for you when you're here.
Have a hug.
Yeah, for sure. I love you too. I love you too, brother.
Wow. Oh, isn't it awesome? You know, helping people through the rough seasons of life. We're also blessed because most of us have it, you know. We've got that support. Sometimes though, when you're really down, have you ever noticed, like, it seems like, where is everybody? Right? At your worst moments where you think that more people should be there, like, where is everybody? And like some of the darkest moments of my life, I didn't even know how to reach out to anybody because I was so broken. And I remember years ago, after my tremendous failure, and that's in my book, Relentless Redemption, you used to pop up that picture, JT, when I would say Relentless Redemption. You had my book picture. Is that like hidden? Is it buried in the basement of all your videos there? All your pictures? So, yeah. Yeah, what date is it? Oh, inside joke. Oh man, trying to find videos. We go and say, we're like, that video, do you have that one? This and this is happening, And then JT is always like, what date did we play that? Well, how would we know what date we played that on? So Marsha has revised everything. Everything's got it's got a title, and we're making a little file, and JT's loving it. He's like, he likes the order. But nonetheless, anyways, complete craziness has happened. But it's interesting that, like, when I really had a failure about 33 years ago, and it rocked my world. It broke me, and I did not think I would recover. I didn't think I would ever be worthy of God's being able to use me. I didn't feel that I would ever get past what I had done to my life, to my family's life, to other people. And it's all in my book, Relentless Redemption. And you can get it on Amazon, actually. And we have a bunch. We sometimes take them to the events and stuff that I do. It's a Canadian bestseller. People say when they start reading it, like, they end up reading it well into the night because it's just a riveting story of what happened. And I tell it from my very my healed perspective, but from the brokenness that I went through. And I remember, like, when I look back, I was so alone. Now, I still know the people in my life that were there when I was going through that. I have those same people in my life, but for some reason, when we're down and out, we don't think we can reach out. We don't know, how to. We don't know what to say. We don't think people love us or will accept us, and we feel such shame and brokenness that we just don't think we're that we're going to recover from this. And so what I've learned from times like that is that actually, if I would have reached out, they would have been there. I could have let people know. I could have said more. And in fact, at times when I did reach out, they were there, but it was hard. And I'm feeling, and with everything that's happened with William's son and the seeing the others now, because we go down there, and every time we go down there, we meet more beautiful people. And then we go, how can we help? We've already met some people we don't know how to help because they don't even want help. And so that's, you can't force people. You can't make them get help. That's not going to happen. But if you can be of help to someone, that right person comes in your path, and maybe you're the only one there, and you can make this difference, then it's so spectacular. It really is. And I appreciate you all because this is a season that's been rough for us. We've, when we're sort of speaking out, I remember, Mike Winger, different ones in the Minor Prophets, my brother Ray Curry, my brother Please Pray for Ohio for Freedom. And some of you know that he spoke out against someone, and man, they tried to take his channel down. And a lot of things happen when, we are doing what we think God has called us to do. There's a lot that happens, but we appreciate that you're there. And, it's interesting because I was reading some of the comments. I like to read your comments, everyone. And one of the comments that somebody had left, let me just see if I can find this right here. So this says, if you've got the share there, and I pinned it, this wonderful lady, Suzanne. And I just want you to know, Suzanne, that in moments when I go like, wow, this is hard. There's a price to pay for what we do. You wrote, Laura-Lynn, I want to commend you for boldly calling out sin and naming the names of those participating in sin by not calling out sin of so-called apostles. Today in my Bible reading, it says Revelations 2:2, and I had never seen this verse. Like, I know verse 3, actually. I've just pulled it up. I know verse 3 of Revelations 2. So this is what the first part, Revelations 2:2, actually says. And this is in red letters as spoken by Jesus. It says, I know your deeds and your toil and perseverance, and that you cannot tolerate evil men. And you put to the test those who call themselves apostles, and they are not, and found them to be false. Is that a perfect verse or what? Our Lord Jesus himself is commending those who do this, including you. Thank you. Be encouraged. You are speaking the truth. I'm praying for you and your team. Isn't that nice? That's not just me. That's the team. Let me tell you, I work with some people who know that we have a mission, and that mission is to bring righteous accountability to God's house so that it will be cleansed. And I'm also seeing that there's this other side too, that justice and mercy are together. That justice brings judgment and it brings correction. And I thank God that we have a voice and that we have a platform that we can do it, and we are not stopped by anyone. We're not stopped when people don't support us because of it, and we are definitely encouraged when you do support. And I thank you that many of you have taken a moment to go to our website and you have decided to help. And I appreciate that. I do. Thank you. But this merciful side, the side that Jesus would do too, the side where Jesus stopped for the Samaritan man, where he tells the story of the guy who stops, the Pharisee, basically, the Good Samaritan who stops for this man at the side of the road, who could be violent, he could be, evil, he could be dangerous, and he stops and he makes sure, and he takes him to the inn, make sure he's okay. And that is beautiful. And I have just a bit more to share when we get back. Hey there, many of you would value getting your hands on some Ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, or fenbendazole. Contact Mia at SozoHealth at proton.me. So I had something funny happen. A lot of comments regarding my little story about JT saying that he loved me you know, and I got suspicious because, you know, just the way. Now, JT tells me he loves me every day. And some people are in the feed, well, I don't know, like is something wrong with their marriage? I don't know, you know. JT tells me he loves me every day. He is warm and affectionate, but just the way that he did it. Let me show you just a recap of what happened, because I want to read you something from one of y'all. I felt a little something last night. So, you know, JT and I were getting ready for bed, and I, you know, climb into bed, and I've got my computer sitting in front of me and stuff, and looking at basically needs like I needed more furniture and all these things for William's son's project. And you know, he goes, oh, I forgot to tell you something. I have to tell you this. So I stop, like, oh no, he's forgot to tell me something. Who knows what that is? I mean, in the past, it's been really bad things. So he goes, I forgot to tell you. So I look over at him. He goes, I just want you to know I really love you. I really love you. I know, Marcia. Marcia's finding this, yeah, really, yeah. It's very touching. So I look at him and I go, what's going on? Why are you saying this? Why are you saying that you love me like that? Like all this emotion, passion, this look? What's happening? Have you done something? Is there something you need to tell me? Are you something you're not proud of? And he's like, I'm just saying I really love you. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to talk about this on the show. I'm going to put it out there. I want people to weigh in. Is this legitimate? Or does a guy just have all this sudden, you know, it's not like JT's always exuding all of this emotion. And I'm like, so I'm waiting for some kind of, you know, some kind of bell to ring that something's wrong. But it's not like he doesn't tell me he loves me a lot. He was very affectionate, but it was just so, it was weird, JT. And if there's something we need to talk about later, we will. All right? I'm here for you. Okay. If it's just because you love me, I'll accept that. And I love you too. I really do. All right. Okay, so I did leave a comment because what I forgot to say when I was kind of telling this whole story, and it's funny how many of you women sent me a note to say, you know, that's exactly how I feel. Like, you know, why are you being so, you know, emotional about all of this? Like what? Like, is something wrong? Like, did you buy a new car and you want to just smooth in the information to me? Are we in debt? Do we, you know, is there a problem, you know? And so I wrote here, and I do have this share up, basically, JT, because this is what I forgot. I also forgot to say in this segment that after JT told me, after I told JT I was going to have to talk about it in the show, then he laughed the hardest I've ever seen him laugh in the 25 years that I've known him. He laughed so hard, which actually made me more suspicious till later. But he just thought it was so funny, my reaction, because he was having a natural reaction and feeling warmth. And actually, I'm going to put Gary's words up. So Gary writes me a letter in a second here. And this Gary dude, one of y'all, he says, I want to tell you what JT was feeling when he said, I love you. All right. So we had a good chuckle after this laugh because I'd never seen him laugh like that. So that, first of all, I'm suspicious. Then I'm like, you know, I start laughing because why are you laughing so hard? And I mean, he lost it. Because he knows he's not normally like this, but there was this, he just felt, you know, he had to say something. So, so this is funny. I thank God for this amazing man who is quite extraordinary to live with the challenging person that is me. Heart, much love to the love of my life. All right. So that is my little message there. JT, you see that? Hopefully I get good kudos on that. He says, well, I'm not going to be telling you anymore. If you're going to like make it a big deal like this, I'm not telling you. No, no, he is. Okay. All right. So I want to say thank you to Gary. So take a look at this. JT, you let me know if this is what you meant that night, okay? So Gary writes me. He says, I guess I will be one of the ones to tell you what's up with JT. I know. I will take it upon myself to tell you what's going on. I love this guy. The truth. Someone needs to tell you what's going on. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. I mean, someone has to do it. You see, JT was overcome with a surge of love for you. Not only did God bless him with such a beautiful you, thank you, Gary. Your beautiful sparkling eyes, thank you, Gary. Your contagious smile, your wonderful sense of humor, but more importantly, he sees how kind you are, how much joy you are getting for doing this deed for the son of your friend, how willing you are to get your hands dirty for this young man, how you keep going in the call that God put on both of you, taking the hits from shockingly other Christians. Oh, I know, Gary. I know. It's just so cray-cray, right? So you see, he was overcome with how blessed he is to have you. That's it. The truth. Love and appreciate you guys. And it's from Gary. So does that sum it up, hun? Yeah? He says, yup. And we're back to the emotionless man that I generally live with. Okay? Emotionless. All right. I appreciate, because I was saying something even this morning about JT, and that is that over the 20 years, because he's kind of like a dude, you know, you ladies know what I mean. He's not like a woman, let me tell you. So we all have emotions, and we use a lot of words to talk about it. We have a lot of emotion, but JT is like strong, steady, da, 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 da. So this is when it's helpful to have a man like that in your life. And I only appreciated it after, many years, because sometimes I would feel, oh, he doesn't give me enough, love. He doesn't compliment me enough. Kind of years of going, well, he's not very effusive with those words. And I don't even know if he appreciates me. Now, JT did definitely not know what he was getting himself into when he married me. And I do talk about that in the book, Relentless Redemption, as well, because I talk about how we got together. But he didn't know that God was going to literally seize us together as a couple. And it would be mostly me going, come on, we have to do this for the Lord. And he's like, we do? Yes, we do. Don't you feel it? He's like, well, what do you want me to do? And he does it. He's like a strong oxen in a yoke. And he does the work that has to be done, because this is a lot of work to get this show done, to get everything. He knows all the behind the scenes, because he worked behind the scenes in television for many, many years. So it took me a while to appreciate that this strong, steady man that I did not always think was what I needed. I did not always think that he was giving me what I deserved. I didn't always think that he was there for me in the emotional ways that I needed him to be there. And so we would work through it over the years. And I began to realize that he has this deep, profound, anchoring ability to just bring me to steadiness. And I hadn't seen that I was like a kite flying all over the place. I mean, I'm like, Dory from Finding Nemo, right? I'm like, forgetting things, going, right? That's me. And JT's like, solid. And it took a while for me to see that. And I hope that helps other people, that when we come together as a couple, we're so different. But it's interesting that God meant marriage to be long, because you don't get the payoff of marriage sometimes until the longevity has stood the test of time. Sometimes you don't get the payoff. And my parents, there's a couple that my mom and dad, two strong personalities, both preachers, both leaders, both like rah-rah, both visionaries in their different aspects, and kind of like strong-willed. And I'll never forget me and my brother sitting at my mom's funeral. She passed first. And my dad's up there, and they've been married like 50 some years. and just amazing. You know, how many people are married over 50 years? So 56 years or whatever. And he's standing there giving a speech at my mom's funeral. And he says, Velma and I loved each other so much. We never fought. And we're like, what is our father saying right now? We're like in the funeral. What did you just hear what Dad just said? That they never fought. And we're like, we roll our eyes. And we're thinking, that is so not true. But you know what? Okay, my dad was getting elderly. He'd forgotten a lot. But they grew to be together for that long, through hell and high water, through thick and thin, through the good times, the bad times, being in dangerous seasons in Uganda as missionaries. And they felt that those were the best years of their life. And that was like, that was like 50 years ago too. And they loved that. But at times it was difficult. But it was interesting that at the end of it all, there's no memory of all of this chaos and pain. There was just like, Velma and I loved each other, and we never fought. I mean, a blazing lie, yes. And I'm sure he asked the Lord for forgiveness. And the Lord forgave him because he actually just couldn't remember it, is the problem. So I've come to the place where I say, and what I appreciate about JT is in this season where we've had to kind of stand strong together, because when you come out against people that are popular, you just feel that God is asking you to stand against something really difficult. I would take that very hard because I want approval. I want people to like me. I don't know if you know that, because I'm kind of tough on the outside, aren't I? But I want to be liked. I want to fit in. But it was like God was saying, come out from among them. And I had a prophetic word from Jeremiah 1 that said that you are to stand and not be afraid of their faces, and that do not be terrorized by the look in their eyes. Or God says, or I will terrorize you. I had that given to me on one end of Canada to the other end of Canada. And then we went on Daystar, and we realized there was a big problem, and the Lord has opened many doors, now in North America, just sort of like we've been in many people's homes now, because the fight is a godly fight to see righteousness exalted and accountability for those who do not hold to the word of God strongly. And so my husband, because he's strong, he's not like me, like Dory from Finding Nemo. Because he's strong, I'm able, he'll just go, well, what are we to do? Who are they to us? Are we really going to base our whole life on, worrying about what everybody thinks about us? He'll always say, do you feel God told you to do this? And I'll say, yes. He goes, all right, that's all that matters. Then let's proceed. And we walk together. And so that's what I appreciate about JT and all of that. And this has been a bit of a different show, but thank you. I'm going to close. We'll be right back. Just like this storm going on outside, some of us have a storm going on inside our blood. Due to some of the issues that we faced in the last few years and the toxins in the environment, we've got things that just don't belong there. So I went to a live blood analyst and found out that I had parasites, crazy little things that were floating around, all the red blood cells in my body. It was a mess. So I took a natural blood supplement, and I went back within 14 days, and I found out that my blood had been completely revolutionized. This is what it looked like. All the red blood cells, plump, flowing freely, no little crazy things floating around in the blood. It was absolutely magnificent. If you feel like perhaps you could benefit from a blood cleansing system, a natural cleansing system, naturesupplement3@gmail.com to get started today. I hope that you will check out that blood cleanser, because it is on a promotional offer for December only. And it is phenomenal. it literally was a gasp moment 2 weeks later when checked out my blood, and it was completely different. All those little swimming things were gone. It was amazing. I had a lot of stuff in my blood. So please, send that email to Nature's Supplement 4, I believe, at gmail.com. Okay, before I go, so I have talked to you before about Candace Owens, and I remember one of the first times that we spoke on, I talked about Candace, and I know some of you out there really love Candace. Actually, you've let me know I should back off of Candace. Candace's views on Israel and what she's saying is so vile. It's so vile. That is the issue I had with her. Her checking into the death of Charlie Kirk and all of that. I think anyone's able to do that. That has when you feel that you have to investigate. But one thing I saw early on when she was like, oh, Erica, and she would, see Erica when she did the early on things, I could see that she would definitely would be turning on Erica and waiting and literally pushing this whole issue to the point where Erica would be so gaslit that she's going to come out. Now, a lot of people, it's really weird. So let's just have an honest moment here. A lot of people are, going after Erica in the feeds, and then people are defending her. But TPUSA, Turning Point, is taking a massive hit right now. So people are going after them on their finances and they're not even really able to respond at the amount of information coming forward. Oh, they had all this money and people were paid this and such and, all of this. And in a big and large organization such as Charlie Kirk was running, he was able to get a lot of funds to do a lot of good work. And you can see where they did a lot of good work. And I value him because he was reaching out to the younger generation, which I really appreciate. But on one of the first episodes that I did on Candace, first or second, I said something. I said, she is going to go after Erica. And that is now happening. So today on the show, basically she says on her show, I'm in a bad mood. Now, the way I see Candace lately has been actually pretty much in a bad mood all the time. Okay. So she's in a bad mood. Barry Weiss refers to me as a liar, and Erica Kirk does not rebut. I have caught her in numerous lies myself. Candace Owens is gaslighting all of the world right now over all of this. You can say that, hey, we should look into this or that. Bring up all of the, the French people, the Egyptian people, the Jewish people, everyone that she wants to throw in. Now, it's the people that really knew Charlie Kirk, the ones closest to him, which by virtue of saying the ones closest to him, who's closer than Erica Kirk? Who's closer? So are these people perfect that are all running TPUSA? No, their leader just died, and a massive leader. This is irreplaceable. Charlie Kirk is irreplaceable. How he affected, I love how my kids would love to listen to him, to his dialogue, to his arguments regarding culture, the woke culture. He would have the best things to say to help your mind to discern what this was all really about. Who's going to be able to do it like Charlie? Nobody. So when Candace comes out constantly, going after them, and then people in the feeds, like everyone, my best advice today let me finish a thought. My best advice is be discerning. Don't take everything at face value. Open your eyes to the fact that she does not walk in the counsel of the godly at all. She walks in the counsel of Tucker Carlson. She speaks and says things like Nick Fuentes, who she hates, by the way, and Nick Fuentes hates Candace, but they are talking the same talk about Israel. And it's so destructive. So she's also talking about Tyler Robinson appears in court apparently today, I guess. I don't know, or was it yesterday? The push to turn critical thinking into a pathology continues from the faith community. And I'll tell you what, I take that very personally. She has indeed attacked the faith community, not just the Jewish faith community, but the Christian community. She's all on an all-out war about all of that. So I'm not going to get into it. I'm keeping my eye on it. I've said a lot about Candace, and if you go back to my videos about the witchcraft that she's promoted, about the lies, I have verified, I have said and shown the lies, specific things that she has said that were not true. People pointed out. Bill Ackman has told her, you know, his side of the story, verified by multiple people that were at a meeting, that she makes it sound like, you know, that Charlie was, you know, basically being, you know, attacked. And nobody can corroborate that from the meeting. But she just says stuff. Now, the guy that I really like watching right now, he's on both sides. So look up both sides in the YouTube and watch him. He gets me laughing so many times because the way he just calls her out on what she's saying, and he'll play clips of like how she was like, this is exactly what you said, you know, calling out the lies. And so I'll leave you with that. This is a time and a season to be discerning. So we're heading into 2026 pretty soon. I pray that we make choices to stand on the side of God's justice and God's mercy, and that we have a balance. And I just thank all of you. My website is Laura-Lynn.tv. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for standing with us. This precious little, beautiful little silver necklace is what I want to send you, if you'll be willing to, almost looks like I need to hold it up against something dark, and it has a little jewel right in the middle, but this sterling silver necklace, if you could join us for $50 or more per month, I appreciate it. I want this to really help a lot of people. I'm ready. This has been some of the toughest physical and mental days to be down in the downtown east side with the girls. And we're all like, okay. I mean, me and Marcia and Toby and Janina, my girls, wonderful, beautiful, courageous women, went down to the downtown east side to basically find William, and then we went to visit him to find William's son, to make sure he knew about his dad. And then we went to the hospital and we walked him through death. And I love these girls. So when you support Laura-Lynn Ministries and you support this, first of all, you're going to help a lot of people. So thank you for that. You can donate anonymously, and we even have an anonymous donor. We just, thank you. There's no other way to thank you. If you're going to be anonymous, we're not going to name people necessarily, but I can't even send you an email because I don't know your email. And it's so hard. Thank you for doing this. And we pray to change a whole bunch more. We're going to have way more stories like we showed you today. And here, JT, here's precious little Marcia. And I don't know what Toby's doing. She is just hiding behind this. She's like peering up like that guy on, what was that show? In the past, even though you could only ever see this much of him. Home Improvement, yeah. Toby's a brat because she lends me her shoes and then she tells people. And so people are in the feed, is that Toby's shoes that you're wearing? Yeah, maybe it is. Okay? So anyways, this is so precious. And isn't this just the best home makeover ever to see this beautiful, beautiful home all made up? Can I just show it to you one more time before I let you go with a scripture? So this is the home makeover completed from some of those very ugly images we've shown you of what state that room was in. He has even an air fryer now, cook some food, and microwave some clothes, and lots of place to put things that might be valuable to him. That's so pretty what Janina did there. Wow. Ooh. That's so nice. Oh, no, the best part was coming, hon. Yep. Right there. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Amen. Amen. And you know what? He's getting a TV up on his wall as well, because they have cable. They might not have a lot of stuff, but every room downtown has cable. We're going to make sure it's working. And he's got a TV up on his wall. So God bless you. God loves you. In this epic season, may God give us the right balance between justice and mercy. And may it go together. Amen. You know, it's not easy to deliver the truth of what our sick world is doing, but for some of us, we feel that we have no choice. Because if we are silent about these abominable things, then we are letting evil go unchecked, and we cannot do that. For those of you wonderful people who are writing me and are sharing your encouragement, I am deeply grateful. Thank you for all the letters that you've been sending. Thank you for the donations and the support. I found out that in order to speak the truth, you have to become very, very strong. If you would go to my website at www.lauralynn.tv, you'll find all of the ways that you can contact me. Remember, my friends, all is well. All is well. Thanks for joining me.